Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of the Babes Who Manifest podcast. I am your host, 𝗦𝗢𝗖𝗜𝗔𝗟, aka the Gratitude Chick. Don't forget to follow me on all of my social media platforms at the Gratitude Chick. On Twitter, Gratitude_Chick, and on TikTok, Babes Who Manifest. Also, starting in November, I am setting up one-to-one coaching to help you plan out your future reality using both the law of assumption and the power of your subconscious mind. Both of these plans together starts at $50. Send me an email at thegratitudechick20@gmail.com. Let's start today. Hello, everyone, and welcome to day 2 of 21 days of thankfulness. So, in today's activity, because even though it's a gratitude challenge, I know sometimes the word challenge can seem challenging to us in that you don't know what to expect. So, even though it is literally a gratitude challenge, I will refer to each day as an activity so that it can take away any angst or anxiety that you may or may not have around the word challenge. So today is day 2 of 21 days of thankfulness. And in today's activity, we are going to do something called the 𝗀𝗚 game. Now, just a brief history on the 𝗀𝗚 game. It is not a concept I came up with. It is something that I saw a number of years ago. It's the backstory is it's a Disney movie called Pollyanna. And in the movie Pollyanna, there's a little girl. Her name is Pollyanna, I believe. And basically she plays a game of gratitude that she calls the 𝗀𝗚 game. So it was the movie was originally adapted from a book called the 𝗀𝗚 game. And basically, the little girl in the book, her name is Pollyanna. When she starts to feel low, she plays the 𝗀𝗚 game and thinks of things to be happy about and thankful for. She teaches the people in her community to play the game and to spread joy. So these books were actually written in like 1913, and then Disney adapted them as a movie called Pollyanna in around the 1960s. So I thought this is kind of a good thing to not only do for us as adults, but definitely for our children, especially, young ones. This is something to teach them as they're young so that they can do, kind of as they're growing into themselves. So basically, the premise of the game is to turn your day around. So if you're, I am always going to talk about corporate America because that is the bulk of my history and working is in corporate America, typically in finance or something to do with money. So if there's, anything that's going on in your day where there's a bunch of, whatever's going on in your day, I know in this day and age, I guess the biggest field or the most challenging field is healthcare because of the pandemic. The goal with the 𝗀𝗚 game is really just to kind of change your day and take whatever is challenging you and make it about gratitude, make it about being glad, and to kind of spread that to those around you that are feeling sad. So basically, I guess kind of the tagline is, if you're feeling sad, play the 𝗀𝗚 game. So let me kind of think of something that you can use to kind of turn the day around. If you're unemployed, you get the word that your business is downsizing, they're laying off. You're feeling sad because you think, that this is how you make your living. So in that instance, I would say find reasons as to why this is a good thing. For me, 2 years ago, I was laid off from that job I told you guys about in day one. That was really, it grew me up in fintech. And when they laid me off, I had been there for so long and had, had so many advancements that I was shocked at first, because I was like, what? But then when I thought back over the past year and all the stress, in 2019, it really was my worst year working there. At the end of 2018, I had a hysterectomy and I was trying to heal. And if you've ever had a hysterectomy or any kind of surgery, and most hysterectomies are done laparoscopically, mine was not. And I had 63 staples in my stomach. So I actually had an open hysterectomy. So in trying to heal from that, having to go back to work and deal with all that stress, it was hard on my body physically. It was hard on me mentally. So that was one of the worst years working at that company, not one of the worst years working at that company. And during that time, I hated that job. I really did. And literally the day before I was laid off, I had told my staff I didn't know how long I was going to be there. So even though it was a shock that they laid me off, and I really was sad because the first thing I thought was, oh my gosh, my income is gone. That's always the first thing you think, right? Because it's your livelihood. But then when it settled back on me and I had a reprieve because I realized they had given me such a phenomenal exit package that I was just like, I sat back and I thought on it, and I began to be happy. I began to be excited because the weight of all of the pressure of working at this company, the stress, it melted away. And the sad part is I would take the stress of having to look for another job any day over the stress of working at that company that last year. So the glad game for me that day was to turn that situation from what my mind could have allowed it to be a devastation to something that was so happy for me. Because I realized in that moment, I never had to work with this man that hated me so much ever again. I never had to see him again. I never had to feel the angst of his presence in my life ever again. And I was ecstatic. I was happy. I was overjoyed. So when you think of the challenges in your life, when they come during the day, take the time to find the gratitude in it. That is the glad game. Figure out a way to flip whatever the challenge is from negative to positive. Figure out a way. And I told you guys before, my grandmother used to read this scripture to me as a child, and it has become kind of my motto in life. In all things, give thanks. And it took me until I was an adult to realize what it meant that in all things give thanks. And it's just simply because there is always something to be thankful for. And hear me out when I say this. Even in the death of a loved one, there is always a reason to be thankful. Not being thankful that that loved one has passed on, but being thankful that they are no longer in pain or whatever was going on in their life. There is always a reason to be thankful. So my challenge to you guys today is find the gratitude in the day, in the challenges of the day. Play the game in finding everything that you can to be glad about today, no matter the challenge that comes before you. Figure out a way to turn that sadness to gladness. Be thankful for every challenge that you meet today. And always remember to make sure that you go through it and not be pulled from it. Because being pulled from it ensures that you'll have to revisit this another day. So always have the determination to get through it instead of be pulled from it. Also, don't forget that we are doing our grateful activity from day one again today, which is writing down 10 things that we are grateful for. So if you need a refresher, go back to day one to get what it is that we're doing with the gratefuls. So our activities for today: play the glad game throughout your day for any challenges that may arise, and write down 10 things that you are grateful for and follow the steps from day one. I am so grateful to you guys for taking the time out to listen to me ramble on about more subjects that I love. Thank you guys for joining the 21 Days of Thankfulness. And I know that your life will change because I've done this gratitude challenge many times in my life. Changes always. You guys have a phenomenal day. Be blessed. Thank you for listening to another episode of the Babes Who Manifest podcast. I am your host, 𝗦𝗢𝗖𝗜𝗔𝗟, aka The Gratitude Chick. Don't forget to follow us on our new YouTube page at The Gratitude Chick. Make sure to click in our description box for a good deal on starting your own dropshipping business with Shopify.